All right, here we are for the long-awaited part 5. As I said in part 4, my friend's compressor went down at that shop, so I've come over here to Larry's Pneumatic Service. They've been gracious enough to let me use this giant blast cabinet, and we're going to put some glass media in it and clean up the front end parts. Looks like a Cheech and Chong movie. This is a pretty good representation of what you can get out of that. Getting it out here in the light, I can see some areas that still need a little bit of work, but as you can see, one of these cabinets is like a magic eraser for rust. Anyway.
Looks really good.
That's it. Let me get those other spots. And the next one's all yours.
Parts cleaner. What you cleaning, John?
The steering box. Actually was a steering box under all that grease. It's a lot of time-consuming stuff. But we'll get there.
Don't step on the pedal when the door's open. I'm here at O'Reilly in Bluefield, West Virginia, getting the rotors turned. This is my friend Billy. Bill, say hi.
Hello.
Known Billy close to 40 years. We went to high school together.
Don't remind me. Oh my God.
He's checking out these rotors, checking out the thickness on them. We're going to try to salvage the original rotors on the car. They might actually be the ones that came on it when it was new. So that's the goal. We're going to see how they clean up and go from there.
Do you know?
I wanted to give you guys an update on the dart sport and what all's going on. And you might wonder why I'm at the back of the car. I needed to order some brake lines, and that's going to be the brake lines under the hood from the master cylinder to the proportion valve out to the front wheels, and then the line that comes to the back and the hard line that goes over the rear axle. I couldn't figure out from looking at it if this car had an A body or a B body 8 3/4 axle, because the 73 didn't come with an 8 3/4, but it had a large bolt pattern, and because the slicks and the way the wheel openings are trimmed and such, it wasn't really feasible to do it by eye, and it was pretty hard to measure the housing width with the wheels still on. Well, I was wondering if it was an A-body housing, A-body axles that had been re-drilled. I pulled off the drum. It's an A-body drum that's had the bolt pattern re-drilled. Okay. But then the axle looks like it hasn't been touched. I pull off the other side and it became pretty obvious that they had welded and ground shut the holes where the 7/16 studs, the 5 on 4-inch pattern studs had been. So these are A-body axles. I was concerned that somebody had taken a set of B-body axles and cut a couple inches off the ends and stuck them in there, which will sort of work. Not with any amount of power, but a car can roll and a person could do that. But that's not the case here. So this does work, but I still think I'm going to upgrade. Doesn't matter. The only reason I even went on this caper was so I could make sure I knew which housing was in it to order the right brake line. And then with both rear wheels off, I could string a tape across the top. And it's a 51-inch A-body housing. But the reason I went to all that trouble was just to order a brake line. That's not the real update I wanted to show you. The real update I wanted to show you was this. I decided to go ahead and pull the entire front clip. I'm going to clean all of this rust out of here. I've taken off all of the wiring. There were gobs of body sealer needed to come off. I'm going to fix that rusty spot right there, and that one right there. And I'm also going to straighten out where these fenders have been hacked out and just clean them up. I'll leave them open. I kind of like them open like that, but I'm going to clean it up, make it look right. And anyway, get all that done. I'll clean the underside of the hood. If you note, the hole for the hood scoop is offset because all Mopars have the engine offset to one side. But I was concerned that perhaps the scoop couldn't be centered on the hood anymore. But I measured, and it is just inside the margin where the snorkel scoop will still fit properly. So everything's rolling along pretty good. Absolutely no collision damage. Whether we'll still have to deal with that, where the radiator support's been pulled out. But I do have a new support for the hood latch, and this is salvageable. I can straighten it out and put the new hood latch in, and then that's going to be good to go. So the next phase, I'm going to clean up. I like to get all the stuff out from the floor. I'll get the jack stand squared up, pull the jack out from under there. I like to clean up one mess before I start another. And then I'll clean all this stuff up and paint it. And then we'll be going back together with new bushings and freshly painted control arms bearings, seal kit. The master cylinder should be here anytime. It's a pretty neat piece. I'll do a video on it. And we're going to do all new stainless brake lines. All new stainless hard lines with braided steel to the wheels. That is one concession that I'll do over a factory appearance item. because I do know what it's like to lose your brakes, and I don't want to do that again. So I want to know that when I put my foot on the brake on this car, it's going to stop. A lot of work went into all of that stuff. So parts are on order. I even got a steering coupler rebuild kit, new old stock stuff. So I'm going to really make this nice on the reassembly. I'm going to start putting pieces back on freshly painted metal and all next week. So it's going to start looking like a car again. Hopefully it'll roll around and stop and do all that before I move to the back, doing the same thing, cleaning off the undercoating, and going to put new leaf spring bushings and all that kind of stuff in the back. So that's where we are right now. Stay tuned.
Of course, you can crop stuff right now.
That'll be our intro.
Okay.
All right, here we are for the long-awaited part 5.